It's Chris here, back in the building with the second leg of UEFA Champions League predictions. So after a very entertaining first leg of Champions League action, we are back once again, and we could potentially see a top pre-tournament contender go home at this stage of the competition. But without further ado, let's get started on the video, because for those that need a reminding of who is still left in the competition, then the predictions and fixtures are up on the screen right now. However, let's get started, because starting off, Juventus versus Porto, with Porto grinding out a very impressive 2-1 win in Portugal last time out. However, can Andrea Pirlo's Juventus side claw their way back into the fixture? Well, I should hope so, even though Porto did win the first leg 2-1. However, I think Juventus will have to work hard for the win, but they will get it done and win 2-0. Next up, we've got Brucia Dortmund versus Sevilla. Brucia Dortmund badly got stung against Bayern Munich, their German rivals, on Saturday in the Classico, with Bayern winning 4-2. But that's a story for another day, even though the refs did have a few calls that went against the black and yellows. However, Sevilla, even though they are perennial UEFA Europa League contenders, this is a completely different ball game altogether. And for that reason, Borussia Dortmund won 3-2 last time out in the first leg in Spain. However, I think this game will have very similar vibes going into the second leg. However, I don't think there will be a winner. However, the sides will play out an interesting 2-2 draw. That's how I kind of see it. Next up, Liverpool versus RB Leipzig, even though the game is played in Hungary. And if you're wondering why, well, the reason is that there's a travel ban going on in Germany at the minute, hence the reason why the game is played on neutral soil in Budapest. However, for administrative purposes, UEFA are counting Liverpool as the home side for the second leg. However, Liverpool won 2-0 last time out against the German side. However, once again, much like the Borussia Dortmund versus Sevilla game, even though Liverpool won the game 2-0, as I mentioned, I think the game will also end in a 2-2 draw. Next up, what would have been on paper the game of the last 16, or the tie of the last 16, because bear in mind it is played over 2 legs, would have been Paris Saint-Germain against Barcelona. Well, after the first leg, you could give me a reason, well, find me a reason why it will be the game of the Champions League last 16, because honestly, it doesn't look that way at all, because PSG blew Barcelona out the water at the Nou Camp, winning 4-1, Mbappe bagging a very solid hat-trick on the night. However, I think Barcelona's barren run in Europe will continue for another season, and PSG will put them out of their misery and dump them out the competition to win 3-1, unlike in previous seasons where they could bottle it and go home early themselves. But I think PSG, they shouldn't do it this time, and like I said, they'll win 3-1. Next up for the games that are the week after, because it is Manchester City versus Borussia Mongchengladbach, and likewise, the game wasn't played in Germany last time out. However, Manchester City won 2-0, so should theoretically get the job done once again against the Germans this time. And I'm predicting for City to win 1-0. That's my prediction. However, bear in mind, I'm expecting them to rest players, because in theory they got the job done in the first leg. Next up, Real Madrid versus Atalanta. Real Madrid only managing to just about get through after the group stages, which had to be said was a very scrappy affair and very uncharacteristic from the 13-time European champions. However, I think Real Madrid should be able to dispose of the Italian side pretty well and win their second leg fixture 2-1. Next up, the biggest surprise, I have to say, from the first leg was Chelsea beating Atletico Madrid 1-0 in Madrid, thanks to Olivier Giroud's acrobatic goal. However, once again, I'm not expecting a high scoring goal fest. However, I think Atletico could very much well be going home this week after the game, because, in fact, next week I should be saying. However, Chelsea, I think, will nick it under Thomas Tuchel, because bear in mind that they have tightened up their defence, much to my displeasure because I'm not a fan of the way that Chelsea are playing, even though I'm not a Chelsea fan myself. However, Chelsea, I think, will nick it and win 1-0. And last but not least, we've got Bayern Munich against Lazio, because Bayern, even though they won the first leg 4-1, there's still a game to be played, people. Let's not forget that. However, I think it should be a very simple and straightforward win for the current European champions. And for that reason alone, I think the Bavarians will win the game 3-1. And on that note, guys, that is the end of my second leg UEFA Champions League predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to check out my first leg predictions from last week, then the video is right here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel right here. And until next time, guys, peace out.